Hello everyone, this is Sunny. I'm coming to you with Sweet Insomnia, a Jeff the Killer X reader by xXDarkQueenXxRei. I'm going to be starting off with Nightmare 4, Red. Who was he talking about? Himself? Jeff then turned into a monster. His glowing eyes were popping out of his skull and his cut smile was dripping with blood as he started to chase you back to your house. All you could do or see was red. Red and more red. You were almost swimming in it. The moon was covered in it, and the grass acted as seaweed in it. You didn't know why your hallucinations and such were so vivid, but they scared the free will out of you. You ran through your back door, and you tried to lock it behind you. When you turned around, Jeff was standing there, and it was exactly like the last night. "I can't wait to start cutting into that cheek," he said, smiling wider than ever. You screamed and tried to go back out the door, but you were forced to the ground. You did the same things you did before, and you got him to lose his grip. Before you started to stand up, you noticed that the scene had changed. You were at the edge of a cliff, and Jeff was lying on top of you, supporting himself by his hands. And he was looking down into your eyes as he asked, "Are you okay?" You tried to reply, but you couldn't speak. Your mouth felt sewn shut. You tried to scream and shout, but nothing was working. You didn't even make any facial expressions. Were you possessed? It was like you were slipping away from your own body. And then you woke up. You actually woke up. You felt awake that time. It was different than all the other times you had woken up. You felt like the air was actually thick and easy to breathe. The small lights weren't abstract, and you could make out words and other things easily, and you felt satisfied. You were lying down in the back seat of a real car, and the real Jeff was driving it. The clock read 2:07, and the real sky outside was darker than a void. The real trees passing by the windows covered the real white moon. And you were really awake. You sat up and took a deep breath, startling the driver. "Wyan." Jeff turned his head slightly around, widening his eyes, and he slammed on the brakes. He pulled over to the side of the road and looked back at you. You're actually awake," he said. "I didn't expect you to sleep that long." He sounded worried. "Was I in a coma or something?" You asked him drowsily. "No," he said. "You were asleep." Asleep? It felt like forever. You couldn't have just been asleep. Even if you have, you must have slept for days. That dream was too real and filled with too many tiny details to have lasted only a couple of hours. But it was so real, you muttered. Your dream took place over the course of 2 months, and it started when Jeff tried to kill you on the 10th night. The last thing you remembered from it was being near the cliff with him, but even those memories of it were starting to fade, along with all the other events that took place. "When did I fall asleep?" you asked. "It was around midnight," Jeff said. "Why?" "I'm happy, then," you said. "Really?" Jeff sounded surprised. "I'm so glad that you didn't actually try to kill me." "I've never tried to do anything like that, Wyan. Did that happen in your dream?" Jeff leaned over and moved hair away from your eyes. "Yeah," you sighed. You rubbed at your face. "There was this really mean policeman, Officer Joe," you explained, and this lady from a homeless shelter that was really exuberant and pretentious, and she had blonde hair. You adjusted yourself in the seat. "I was having layered dreams and nightmares about you and weird creatures killing me. That's all I could remember, though." "Wyan, Officer Joe was real, and so was that lady," Jeff said, disregarding the nightmares. "What?" you asked. "Oh no," he muttered under his breath. "I can't tell you that." His voice went to a whisper and trailed off, and he looked around and shook his head a lot. "But how could I dream of real people if I've never seen them before?" you asked. He looked like he was contemplating something. Was he confused? It seemed like he was battling something in his mind, and he kept looking at you every second, every couple of seconds, too. Then a weak and worn-out expression took over his face. "It's because you have seen them before," he said, gazing into your eyes. "You just don't remember them." "But I got the memories you took away," you said. "No," Jeff muttered. "See, that wasn't the first time you've lost memories." Chapter Nightmare 5, Reality. "What?" you asked quietly. I don't understand." You lowered your hands and placed them in your lap, scanning the floor of the car. Jeff sighed and turned around to face you. He lifted your chin slightly to look into your eyes. "How do you think I knew your name on that first night?" he asked. You thought back to when you first met him. He was in your room, pinning you down on your bed, and you said your name, along with some other random things. So he knew your name because he knew you before then? We met 2 years ago, he muttered. I saved you from falling off a cliff. I changed fate. He didn't recall any of that. I don't remember this, you sighed. Are you lying again? No, I'm not. I can promise you that, he said. He took your hand. Let me explain everything from the beginning. The beginning before the first night, he begged. Okay, he mumbled. Jeff's eyes lit up and he began to shift in his chair a bit. You were supposed to die 2 years and 10 days ago, he started. But I accidentally. He glanced at the floor and began again. Jane and the doctor guy, Dr. Smiley, were the ones behind it. They lured you out into the woods and chased you, he said. I was doing my own business and I saw you heading towards the cliff. You tried to remember anything, but your mind was blank. It was like some sort of retrograde amnesia prevented it. I didn't see Jane or Smiley, so I went after you. I was curious and your appearance was so attracting, he mumbled, playing with your hair again. He didn't really deem it the right time for him to be giving you a compliment, he said. When you were about to reach the edge, I pushed you to the ground. I wouldn't normally do something like that, but I can hardly even remember why. He paused and looked around for a minute. He then opened up the console on the passenger side and pulled out a small hair clip. Do you remember this? He asked, placing it in your hand. Actually, I do, you said. You examined it some more and muttered. I got this when I was a kid. I lost it. Your eyes lit up. I lost it 2 years ago. You dropped it near the cliff, Jeff said. It was a lot for you to absorb. You really believed him 100% at that point. I started to visit you after that. We grew a bond, one that'll probably never get back, he declared. But I swore that I would protect you, and that's what I'm doing now. Then why don't I remember any of this, you asked. I'm getting to that, he muttered. You knew that they were coming, and I did too. He looked around again and said, maybe you shouldn't know that part. Tell me, you demanded. You didn't want it to be in the dark anymore. Wyan, it's impossible for me to give back all of your memories. I'm trying right now, okay? This is all I can do, he said. I went through some things too that I just don't want to revisit. You nodded slightly, understanding the situation. Anyway, he mumbled, they were going to come back 10 days ago, so I took away your memories right before you went to sleep the night before. Or as you know it, the first night. You furrowed your brows. Did I comply? Did I want to? Not exactly, Jeff said as he looked away. I did it for your own good, and you knew that, but you weren't for it completely. He put his hands through his hair and shook his head. Was he lying? Then why were you trying to kill me that first night? You asked. He looked away and stared out the window. After a couple seconds, he spoke again. I thought that I could kill you before them and make it less painful, but I changed my mind in the moment, he said. So your life was saved from a split-second decision. You had a 50-50 shot at living. Your parents are both already dead, thanks to Jane. When I took away your memories, I gave you fake ones as well. You widened your eyes and felt tears brewing. How? You asked. Why wouldn't you tell me this sooner? You raised your voice and started to cry. Can I even believe you? They actually died when we first met, he said, trying to calm you down. It was Jane's warning. She was warning me that she would come back. You actually remembered something. Your parents called a week ago. They aren't dead. They called me. You yelled, crying. That was Jane. That's why I didn't want you to ever answer the phone, he said. It was starting to all make sense, but you were still in slight denial. That's the one thing I won't believe. Even if it's true, I don't want to know. Even the thought of them still being here, being alive, is enough for me, you said. Okay, Jeff sighed. I'll just continue then. You gazed up and wiped away a tear or two before rubbing at your eyes. So now that you know that I wasn't the one going to kill you, I was referring to Jane and Smiley, he said. Whenever I talked about you dying on the 10th day, I was just getting you prepared. I didn't think that I'd be able to save you. He leaned in closer. But that's when I came up with a plan, he whispered. I put something in your drink around midnight on the 10th night. It was actually 2 hours ago, but it knocked you out. I snuck you out of the house, and I've been driving since. You kept your attention high as he explained. The explanation reached its climax. So that's why you wanted the lights off when we got back, to hide from them? Right, he muttered. And the memory thing has some weird side effects, so that's why you keep blacking out and sleeping so much. Why did you take them again? You asked, looking down. Take what? My memories. You took them for a second time. It was the third or fourth night. Jeff looked away and then back at you. I didn't want you to know the truth. I wanted you to live without thinking about an end, he said. It was a lot of information to handle, and you were upset that he kept you clueless for a long time, but you realized that his intentions were good. So, what now? You asked, and you peered into his eyes, and he gazed back at yours. I'm going to kill Jane and Smiley. That is the end of those chapters. The chapter after that one is Nightmare 6 Regret. Let me know how you guys felt about that, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Until next time, bye-bye.